So flying into Key West was a really cool experience. I had found this trip just a couple weeks earlier on Expedia, a last minute trip. But as I flew in, I was able to see all the different islands, and it's really cool to start seeing the different parts of the island. And I just can't even describe how incredibly beautiful this place is. So I hopped into a lift and started the short drive to my resort, probably less than 10 minutes. We went past some beautiful man-made beaches, and then we arrived at the Almond Tree Inn, which is right off Duval Street in an incredibly beautiful place. It's just sort of tucked in away from everything, and you don't really even see it until you're right there. But as you enter, oh my goodness, what a beautiful place. My room was beautiful. Right outside my room, there was a little patio, and I could see the pool and around the corner the hot tub. I picked out a nice chair every day to sit and read my book and just enjoy the beautiful pool. The water was so warm. Oh, I just loved swimming, and I met some wonderful people. And then once in a while I'd hop in the hot tub, but it was pretty warm, so I didn't always use it. Every evening it was so nice. We had happy hour, and you could get a drink, and then they had a lot of snacks. We had pizza one night and meatballs and a few other different things. And the evenings were so gorgeous, just beautiful, quiet. I was one of the only ones in the pool. Breakfast was amazing each day. It was more of a European style breakfast with meats, eggs, fruits, but it was good. Right outside, you could look down and see a bunch of stores the one way and the other way as well. You could pretty much walk anywhere you needed to, or take a bicycle. A lot of people rented bicycles. But I decided to take the trolley tour so that I could see what the whole city was like. Mario was a fun tour guide. He gave us lots of interesting tips and interesting information about all the places we went. President Truman had a White House there, and we were able to see that, as well as all the shops and so many beautiful churches. Such an interesting island. And there was a government building. Oh, and the funny thing was roosters everywhere. They were brought years ago for cockfighting, but of course that became illegal, and now they're protected, and they're just everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's a rooster. So there are so many historical things to see. And in fact, every sitting president can come here and use the little White House if they want to. I don't know how many have. Shipwrecking used to be a big business because they would sell the stuff they found. So there's lots of museums dedicated to shipwrecks and other just really interesting museums with lots of information. And of course, there's lots of shopping because there are many, many tourists. So Mallory Square is one of the popular places to go and look at a sunset. Of course, it's right where the cruise ships come in, a different ship each day. And they go out and they catch sponges. It's not as big a business as it was. But as we rode around in the trolley, there are so many things to see. Different stores, different shops, and this beautiful canal. I can't imagine living on this.
6 miles out there, North America's only living coral reef. That's in North America. We have in the world, it's the 5th largest barrier reef. Oh, it's beautiful out
there. Of course, I had to try some conch fritters. People who live on the island are called conchs. This little fritter truck was right where we got on the trolley. It's some pretty good fritters. sails and ships museum. Gives history. Well, you can't be on Key West without having some key lime pie. And of course, the famous Kermit's key lime pie on a slice. I had to give it a try. So I bought one of the frozen, it's like a popsicle, and it's basically a piece of pie dipped in chocolate and frozen. Oh, wow, it was good. It was really good. That was a cool sand sculpture we saw. And of course, here's the original Margaritaville. Jimmy Buffett. He was one of the people who also loved the island. There's lots of other great restaurants. This is a Cuban museum of some type. I did not go into it. But of course, one of the most famous points is the southernmost point. And I took a picture next to it. Oh, it was a long line. It was so hot waiting in this line. People waited, and for the most part, everybody's pretty much just waiting. And afterwards, I walked down the street and went and got a nice, cool pina colada to be able to cool off at this little bar that's called the Southernmost Bar. It was a wonderful day. Really enjoyed it. Well, the next day, I decided to spend the day out at Fort Zachary Taylor Park, and there's a beach. So I got out there early, rented a chair, and there's a lot of trees, so it was really very relaxing and be able to enjoy being on the beach without being in the sun. And it was just beautiful. Lots of rocks, though. So take a look at this. So I'm in the water. Thankfully, I have water shoes on. Because it's a lot of rocks. The waves are actually rocking you pretty strong. People are snorkeling, swimming, jet skis, playing. Beautiful Key West. So this fort was built to help protect the island and actually all of the keys. It was used during the Civil War. Surprisingly, it was a Union station, but then it was also used during World War I and World War II. Yeah, let's say there were some places I avoided, but I certainly didn't avoid this ice cream shop, Kilwin's Ice Cream, right across from Margaritaville. And of course, you've heard of the Sloppy Joe bar where Hemingway used to go. It was an interesting place. And I enjoyed some delicious sushi for dinner. This dragon roll was out of this world good. And of course, I had to have some fried wings too, which were so good. And then it was time for another relaxing evening and to another day. What a blessing to be able to worship with others at this beautiful, beautiful church. I really enjoyed it and even ran into the family of one of my friends from college. What a small world. So we're in the Hemingway house. We're going to have a tour in a little bit, but I'm walking around until my tour starts. You're going to see the cats everywhere.
Pardon me, guys, my tour is now.
The Hemingway house was very interesting. Hemingway was quite a character. I learned quite a bit about him. Anyway, lots of historical things to see, and it was an amazing, beautiful, beautiful place built right across from the lighthouse. Of course, Hemingway said the lighthouse was built for him. Haha. But I think the most important thing to see there were the 6-toed cats. There are 59 of them currently there, and they're protected by law, and they get to roam everywhere. They're like in every room. They're just all over the place. You're allowed to pet them, but they ask you not to pick them up. And Hemingway was given a cat by a ship captain, and they had been bred especially to be good mousers. So they continue that, and they're still being bred today.
Around the building a little further, hope to keep us a little cooler on some days. Now these next two Concoms, they're identical. Yeah, one man built it for his daughters. He didn't want any jealousy between the girls, so he built them identical Concoms. Maybe they still put it with that corner one though, huh? Still a good idea by that. So, class of revival and Concomm homes. Now my two baby styles are up here. They're called zigzag and eyebrow houses. I know that's weird, but it is U.S. You'll see why they call them zigzag and eyebrow houses when I show them to you. First a zigzag home. On the left here by the palm trees, you're going to see a roof line that goes up and down, up and down, up and down, like a zigzag. We call them zigzag homes. The green one right here. Now, as families grew, they put the distance to the existing structures and wound up forming that zigzag roof line. Sometimes 5, 6, 7, 8 feet. There's only a dozen zigzag.